Hey, what's going on tonight? It is Monday night. And you know what time it is? It is 9 p.m. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. and it's late, right? But listen up. I remember, I actually remember this commercial. It was crazy. I remember growing up and there was this commercial, that Dunkin' Donuts commercial. It was this old chunky guy, chunky man who used to kind of sleepwalk his way through out of the bed, and he used to repeat these words: "Time to make the donuts." Time to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts. And he had this recording in his head, and he would just wake up and he had to go make donuts, right? And that's kind of like what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like it's time to make the donuts. It's 9 p.m. and I need to record this video because it's part of the game plan. And no matter what time it is, whether it's the morning, the afternoon, or evening, I have to figure out and find the time to make this video. And it's not an easy process, right? And like my good friend always says, it doesn't have to be easy. So today I woke up at 6:30 in the morning. Usually I wake up sooner, right? So then I have a little time to exercise, but I had a little reflection time in 6:30 in the morning. Share my mind with the creator, right? And then I went to my first line of business, which is the actual cafe. And I went there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I like going there to set up, and I like going there to have my coffee and things like that. I had an 8 o'clock in the morning meeting with a small bathroom renovation project that I just took on. The reason, because I need some cash. I need some extra cash. So gave them the instructions on what to do. And then I was off to my business, my store. I sit there all day and hustle with my customers and provide an amazing service, sell them exactly what they need, things that they're coming in for, things that they didn't know they need until I explained to them, because that's what good salesmen do. So I did that all day, and I didn't have no time today to film anything. I didn't have no time to do like a short or a reel or a story. I was constantly speaking with my customers all day long. The phone was ringing, dealing with deliveries, dealing with my employees. I've been training a new employee, so I was working with her all day. And just like, it was chaotic all the way till after 6 p.m. I did find a little time to have a quick meal, and that was good, right? But I didn't have time, like my mind wasn't there to like sit down and be able to record and things like that. And that might be you, right? Maybe you're a businessman and would like to get into the game of content creation and get your YouTube going and stuff like that. But it's so difficult to find the time, because you have to run your business, right? And that's a struggle in itself. You have to run your business, then you're gonna have to find time to make the donuts, find time to film the video. So I know what that's like. I'm living it right now, and that's okay. You know what? It depends, if you really, really want this, right? If you really see yourself in the future wanting this, then this is part of the process. So, I mean, it's amazing if you living at mom's home, or you have things covered and you have time to take a walk and do some filming and sit by the beach and by a cafe and do some shooting and all that stuff. That's cool, and you're lucky to have that. You could do content all day long. That's fantastic. But for you who has to actually run a business, you have to go to work where you have an employer who's there, and you don't have time to do any content creation. You have to then find time to do it in the evenings, right? Or do it before you start work, or do it between the kids, or do it between all the things that you have to do. But that is life. You have to make time for the things that are important. And this is important for me because, again, I see myself in the future where I find different ways or easier ways to create financial freedom, especially having that freedom to be remotely anywhere you want, right? So that sacrifice, whether it's 9 p.m. tonight, Doesn't matter. It has to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be looking back, wishing that it happened, right? So if you're in that type of situation, if you're running your own business, and if you're working for somebody else and you're working long hours and stuff like that, and you're struggling to just get started, well, I understand you, because I'm struggling to just get started. You know, like when I left my work after 6 o'clock, I had to eat. I was hungry. After being hungry, I came home, jumped in the shower, right? Try to get organized. I try to put some lighting together, which is another thing that you have to figure out, because I still haven't figured that out. I don't know if this lighting is great or if it looks good or it could look better. I'm still working on those details. And to be honest, you know, I don't know if my hair looks good, right? So this is it. So if you don't have a professional editor and you don't have all your lighting and somebody doing this work for you, you have to figure it out. And sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. You don't know if your hair looks good. You don't know if you look good. You don't know if you sound good. I mean, it's just a battle between you and the camera, you and yourself, you and you and you and you, because the fight is against you, right? And I'm learning that, because it's been months that I've been thinking about this, on how to do this, how to make this work for me, right? How to sit down and create content and, you know, build up a podcast and, you know, have some interviews going. You know, I have so many ideas that I want to implement into this whole journey of social media. And wow, life really calls at you. You know, the morning starts and sometimes it doesn't start your way, and then the day takes its course and things don't go your way, and it gets busy and it gets crazy and you get setbacks, and you know, your body doesn't feel well and your mind doesn't feel right, and you just don't feel like filming, and you don't think that it's time, and you don't think that it's ready, and you just constant battle to get started and to get going, right? So like that Dunkin' Donuts guy, you know, he would just wake up. It would be like, time to make the donuts. You have to find time to make the donuts. Like I have to find time to do this work, right? And you know what's funny is that in this game of social media, they say you should be posting consistently. So that means you should be making constant video, right? If you're gonna be YouTube, you gotta then post on Instagram, some shorts, some reels. You gotta post your story, your exercise, your this, your that, and you know, just keep engaged and build your following and keep going and keep going, and it keeps going. And wow, that's a lot of work, right? That's a lot of work. But you know what? It's also a lot of work to run your business for the rest of your life. It's also a lot of work to work for your employer the rest of your life. And it's good if you work for your employer, if you love your work. It's good to run the business for the rest of your life if you love your business, right? You love what you do. That's good. But if you don't, then you know what? Everything that you do is going to be a lot of work, no matter what. No matter what, you have to put the time in to be able to push forward towards your goals, right? So I had this, this idea that in order for me to, to be successful at this content creation, I will have to, set up my studio and, get the new phone and do this and do that. And you know what? It's BS, because I could have been doing this months ago, right? But in all fairness, my mind was not there months ago. I just couldn't get myself to think straight to do this, because I had so much going on, right? So much going on in my life between business and, so real estate and construction, and oh my goodness, it's just too much. My mind was so full of things. I had to clean things up little by little so that I can actually find time to think and to start pursuing this process, right? And now I'm in the process, and you know what? It's just another challenge. That's all it is. It's another challenge. It's another game. another game you got to play if you want to win, right? So when I finish this video, you know what? I'm going to spend a little time exercising, right? I have a nice yoga mat right there that I'm going to work on a little bit. I'm going to do some dips for my arms, right? Because it's just part of the process. I want a better body, a better physique. Better physique goes with a better mind. A better mind and physique goes with a better appearance, and a better appearance, you just look better on camera, you know, more interesting. Your videos, your confidence, everything just gets better, right? So after this video, then I have to go take care of some of my body, right? Take care of the body, right? And then find time to go to bed at a decent time so that tomorrow morning I can wake up again and work out on that body, and then find some time to film some content again and do business, you see? So this is a game that if you decide you want to do this, you just have to figure out to do it. And you know what? If you're struggling, I get it. I'm struggling, and I know what it is to struggle, and I know what it is when people tell you, like, you know, you just got to do it, you just got to start. And well, you know, they're right. They're 100% right. And then you say, yes, you're going to do it, and then you don't. And I know what that feels like, right? So listen, if you want to do this, you just have to do it. Find time. Doesn't matter, you know what? My hair doesn't look that good, right? It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. You know, it doesn't nothing has to be perfect. Just get started. Just find the time. It's for your own good. If you set out to do it, you say you're going to do it, just do it. It's going to happen. It has to happen. Because if not, we live in regret. And living in regret, it's just not cool. That's not a good thing. You know what? Time goes by, and you look back and you say to yourself, why didn't I try? Why didn't I do it? Why didn't I push forward? Why did I give up? You don't want to live with those whys. You want to at least give yourself a chance, right? So imagine the picture that if you actually push forward and continue to push forward, in a year from now, right, you're like in a whole different ball game. Do you know what's interesting? That I haven't posted on YouTube in a few months, and then I just posted a video yesterday on Sunday, and you know, it's something that I had to get started because I'm telling you, the pressure was on. And I came this evening to turn on my channel, you know, to film this video, and I look, and we went up 15 subscribers. Well, that's a really cool thing to look at. You know what? That's awesome. And I appreciate that. All you guys who subscribe, that's amazing. Thank you for that. This journey is going to be an interesting one because I have to do this. I have to do this. I want to be financially free to film whenever, wherever I please, wherever I want, right? I want to know what it's like to have my businesses running without me while I go out there and create some fun content, things that are interesting to help people, things that educate, help others in their journey as I am in my journey, share my journey with you, you know, what I have to go through, the mindset, the ideas that, you know, I put together, and how I get from point A to point B, how you can get to, you know, from point A to point B. That has to happen, right? So yes, you know, we can take this journey together and, you know, learn from each other, yeah? So if you're in that position where you're running the business and you're struggling to just get started, I get it. You're struggling to just find time. Now it's late. You're tired. You don't know what to say. I get that, man. But just, you have to just figure it out and just push through the noise, push through your mind, push through yourself, push through your heart. You just have to push through it, as I am doing right now, right? Like I said, it was 9 p.m. and here we are, having to push through it. And okay, it's good when, again, you don't have a million things and you don't have kids and you don't have this and you don't have that. Yes, you have the time. That's fantastic. But when you don't, right? When you don't is when you really have to push through it. So tomorrow I got to work all day. I need to see my son tomorrow evening. I got to make time. I got to pack because on Wednesday I have to travel. You see? So I got to find time. We got to push through. You have to find time and you have to push through. So anyway, that's my message for tonight. Push through because you have to. And remember, it's time to make the donuts. It's time for you to film that video. It's time for you to get started. Don't worry about your hair as much as I do, because my friend says to me, hey, you are vanidoso. In Spanish, that means you're vain. You're vain. So maybe I'm a little vain. I don't know. But whatever. It is what it is. Just have to figure it out, and you just have to push through. So anyway, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video.